Hello, hello. Today I got little good stuff to share with you. We're going to be talking about accountability and how important it is for actors. In case you don't know what accountability is, it's when you have somebody holding you accountable and committed to do what you said you would do. And as actors, sometimes we need that more than other times. I have found in my life that accountability has been one of the greatest things for me. It has helped me stay focused, stay on time, stay committed, stay on purpose. So today, I want to, first of all, give you some examples of lack of accountability because they can be pitfalls for actors when they don't have structure, when they don't have somebody who they can um, tell their goals, their aspirations, what they want to do, and they're doing it on their own. So let's go into some of the examples of lack of accountability. So the first one is you miss auditions because no one is checking in on your preparation. That means you forget you had the audition, or you didn't think it was important enough, you don't show up. That's a lack of accountability. Another one is consistently researching, but you're never submitting stuff. You're looking to see, what auditions are out there. You're on Actors Access, Casting Network, all of these different sites, and they're casting this, they're doing this, but you're not following through. You're not sending your picture and resume. You may not even be subscribed to these sites to help you with your career. Another thing is that you don't finish your self tapes on time. You don't get it in when you're supposed to get it in. Something is happening and you are not on time. You're waiting till the last minute and then you're stressing out. And by the time you finish, it's over. They're not taking any more self tapes. Or you're skipping classes, you're skipping training because nobody is tracking you on your growth. You're in a class where people let you get away with stuff. It's like, oh, you didn't show up last week? No worries. You didn't do your work? No worries. That's lack of accountability. That hurts you as an actor. You also can get in trouble because you're letting fear keep you from networking with industry professionals. That is part of our business, is to expand our territory, to be able to have people in the industry know who we are. You can be the best actor in the world, but if people don't know it, it is not going to help you. It's like that saying that they said, if a tree falls in the forest and no one is there, does it really fall? Well, it does fall, but nobody knows it fell. Nobody knows you're an actor because they don't know you. Another thing that comes from lack of accountability is spending time and time and time and time on editing your reels, working on your stuff, but it never gets done. It never gets completed because you don't have a due date. You don't have somebody who's checking on you saying, hey, did you finish your reel? When are you going to finish it? Another lack of accountability is you overcommit to side jobs and you let it put your acting career on the side. You're doing yes, you're saying yes to every project, but you're acting, and that's lack of accountability to your career. You're ghosting on follow-ups with agents or casting director or industry people. You don't show up. You don't do what you say you were going to do. That's lack of accountability. You're avoiding tough career decisions because you have no one holding you to deadlines. That is huge for actors a lot of times. They don't give themselves deadlines. Then they beat themselves up because they didn't make it for the deadline. It's like it is that never-ending cycle of you're keeping yourself in sabotage by not having accountability. And 10, when you don't have accountability, you get stuck in perfectionism. You're rewriting, you're re-recording. There's nobody to hold you to what you said you're going to do. Okay, you said you're going to do it. Okay, we need it done by Friday. Let's go. Um, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, where there is no vision, people perish. And I would add to that, where there is no accountability, people perish as well. That's Proverbs 29:18. I adjusted it, but you have no outline, you have no deadline. What are you doing? So you gotta keep going. I want to also kind of give you a quote by Don Wilder that says, excuses are the nails used to build a house of failure. That's scary. um, you know, when you don't have accountability, you walk in excuses. It's all about, well, I didn't do this, blah, 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 blah. So before we get into the rewards of accountability, um, let's talk about why it matters. It matters because it will move your career forward. When you have accountability, it helps you go forward in your career. So let me give you 10 reasons why accountability accelerates your acting career. It transforms your pace and power. So let me just say this. I have been using what I'm talking to you about for the last 30 some years. I learned that if I wanted to get something done, I needed to share with another person who would check on me and say, hey, what are you doing? You said you're going to do this. How are you doing it? So about 30 years ago, I picked 4 accountability partners, 4 of them, different areas. One was my pastor, another one was my pastor's wife. Well, actually, my one of my pastors, and then my lead pastor's wife. Another one was my best friend, and another best friend who both were actors. So I had 2 people who held me accountable. Through spiritual stuff and with everything else, but they were my spiritual leaders. So you don't want to disappoint them. I'm telling you, it does not feel good to disappoint people you look up to. And so I picked people that I looked up to. My best friends, I looked up to them. They're my best friends. What they say matters to me. They were going for their stuff. They were successful in their business, and I wanted the same thing. So if you want to be successful, you want to have people who are doing what it is that you want to do. These people were crushing it in their careers. So I started using them, and it really started to not only hold me accountable, but it made me more intentional, more focused. I would send them my list of what I was going to be working on that month, the first of the month. They got my list of what I wanted to accomplish, and they also got a list of what I had accomplished the month before, so they could see what I was doing. I also gave them permission as accountability partners to call on me at any time to check on me to see what I was doing. I did that for a year, and it really helped me a lot. And then I stopped doing it. And when I stopped doing it, I started floundering. That list that I gave you, it is what happened to me. So I'm not telling you stuff, that I know nothing of. I know it very well. I know when I don't have accountability in my life that I tend to wander. I tend to flounder. I tend to goof off. I tend to just be a knucklehead sometimes. I will take care of everybody else's emergency instead of taking care of what's important for me. And I had to stop that. I had to focus and go, okay, um, I can't be of service to everybody. One of the things that I started to say to myself, which I got from the airlines, when you get in the airline, when you get on the airplane, the flight attendant always says to you, when they're showing you, the safety features, the first thing they say to you is, in an emergency, put your mask on first. Before you help anybody else, put your mask on first. So I had to walk in that for a whole year. That was my mantra. I'm putting my mask on first. Before I go to help anybody else, how am I helping myself today? What am I doing for myself? So I started to hold myself accountable. So when I started back looking for people to hold me accountable, I was looking for people of integrity. I was looking for people who were doing what it was that I wanted to do, or were doing it on a bigger level. I was looking for people who were committed, who were consistent with their stuff, who had balance. So I wasn't just asking, anybody to be my accountability partner. I was really being specific. And I will add to this, in between that, I had gotten into a couple of acting groups, support groups, and you're supposed to have an accountability partner every month, and then you would change. And so what I found in those groups, because the leader did not stress how important accountability was, that I would get accountability people who would flake off. I would call, I would check in, hey, what are you working on? Oh, I'm not on it. And I found myself spending more time trying to encourage them and support them in their being accountable, that it didn't help me any. So what I started to learn was, wait a minute, I want people to be my accountability partner who are really serious, who are, they're not wasting time. They're not scared. They're not saying they want to do something and then they never do it. I want people who do what they say they're going to do, to hold me accountable as well, so that I can do what I say I'm going to do. So, which is why, partly why I'm starting Acting Smarter Circle in September, going from September to December, to help actors with structure, with strategy, with support, and with accountability. So if you are interested in that, you can go to actingsmarternow.com and sign up on the wait list. We're going to start it in September, go until December, to help you push your career forward in a different way. Sometimes we do things over and over again, and there's a saying that says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So the purpose of the Acting Smarter Circle is to get you to do things in a different way that produces great results for you in your career. All right, so here we go. Let me give you some information of why accountability can accelerate your career. The first thing is, it keeps you consistent with submissions and auditions, because if you are going for, wanting a career, then you got to be submitting yourself. You got to be auditioning for things, doing self tapes. Number two, it pushes you past fear, because you have somebody, or maybe a couple of people alongside of you, moving you forward, and they're expecting progress from you. And if you have the right people, you don't want to disappoint them. Sometimes we don't want to do something, but we do it because we don't want to disappoint the other people. And we actors are like that. We will not do stuff for ourselves, but we will do it for other people because we do not want to disappoint them. Um, um, with accountability, it provides honest feedback and reflection. So if you're doing something and it's not working, your accountability partner can say, hey, I see you're having problems with that. How about doing it this way? Or have you really thought it through, what you want? Because maybe you don't have the proper tools to get it done. So maybe you need to re-examine that and see how that why it's not working. Sometimes doing I call it the forensic audit on things, so you can see why it's not working, and then you can make the corrections. You can tweak it so it does work. It Having accountability also saves you from procrastination by setting deadlines. Deadlines are huge. How do you think movies and television projects get made? They have deadlines to it, they have schedules, they have people that are holding them to the fire. If you are a filmmaker and you do a film, you have a deadline to get everything done because you have to come in under budget. A good filmmaker, and I'm not talking about creatively, because there are a lot of creative filmmakers out there who never complete the project because they don't have their deadlines, they don't have people holding them accountable. If you're working with a studio, they have deadlines for you, and you got to meet those deadlines. You got to meet the deadlines for the script, for pre-production, for production, and for post-production. They have deadlines they give you. This has to be done by this, and there are no excuses. You got to do it. You got to figure it out. If obstacles come in, you got to figure out the solutions to them. So having accountability builds momentum, and it keeps you moving forward. It also strengthens your discipline. It's a muscle that as actors we need to be working out daily. Um, it also keeps you focused on goals rather than on distractions. And it's easy if you have a ADHD, or you like blingy things, to get distracted easy. But when you have accountability, they will bring you back. What are you doing? How are you making that happen? All right. So it also provides encouragement. When you have accountability, they're encouraging you when rejection hits. They're saying, that's all right, that happened. You're going to get through this. Let's get to the next thing. They're pushing you forward with encouragement and love and support. Number 9, accountability gives you clarity, and your partners can see what you can't, so they can say, you can feel like, and I've gone through this a lot, and I've also helped other people with this a lot, which is you start feeling like it's not working, things are not working. And sometimes when you feel that way, your accountability partner will come alongside of you and say, but you did this and this and this last week. What do you mean it's not working? You are moving. Sometimes we just get stuck in our head, and accountability partners kind of remind us of all the stuff we're doing. That is such a big um, tool that comes with accountability. People reminding you, you're doing it, you're making it happen, let's go. They're cheering you on, they're like your coach almost, and you're their coach. So when you have accountability, it's not just one-sided. You guys are partnering, you are partners. So and 10, it creates results, it creates booking, it creates connections, and most importantly, it creates confidence in you as a artist, as a business person, as just a great human being. It really does help. So no, we did number 10. So all right, the Bible says iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another, and that's what accountability is. We're sharpening each other, we're cheering each other on, we're keeping each other going. It is vital. When you're trying to do it by yourself, it is horrible. Helen Keller said, alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. And accountability allows you to do so much. In the last 2 years, I have been involved in uh, several groups, and each of those groups have accountability components to it. I have, uh, again, I have three accountability partners. Is it three or four? Maybe it's four. I have four accountability partners. One I meet with on, well, actually, yeah, four. I meet with one on Tuesday morning, one on Wednesday morning, one on Friday morning, and one throughout the week. And it keeps me focused. It keeps, okay, this is what I'm working on, because they're constantly saying, what are you working on? What did you finish? What were your wins? What are you having struggles with? And it really has helped me 10x my business. It has taken my YouTube channel from and this is just from last year in May, from 2,500 followers to now I have 120,000 subscribers, and I got a plaque for it. That's one of the things. I was able to create my Acting Smarter planner because of accountability. There's so much that I've been able to do in the last few years because I doubled down in my groups, got the right accountability partners that are really helping me in different areas, moving my ball, and I'm in the right groups. I'm in the right circles of, right communities with my tribes. And so I want to now give you 10 action steps for success with accountability, because if we get the wrong accountability partners, it can hurt us immensely. And I've been there. So this is stuff I want to give you to help you strengthen yourself in your career, in your life. So uh, here we go. Um, First of all, choose accountability partners who are as committed or more committed than you are, because if you are a little sketchy, you want somebody who really is on fire, to because that stuff rubs off on you. You know, it's contagious. If people are doing their thing, it's contagious. If people are not doing their thing, that's contagious too. Because then you go, well, they're not doing it, so I'm not going to do it. But we want those people who are on fire. They're committed to reaching their goals, and it makes it kind of buoys you up. um, so you want to find those people who are moving. You also want to make sure that you set specific career goals, and make sure you understand the difference between a goal and a task. They're not the same. If my goal is being an actor on a TV show next season, right? That's my goal. I want to be a lead actor in a TV show. Then I have to break it down. What will it take to be that actor on a TV show as a lead? What do I need to do? There are steps. There are things you have to do. Those things are your task. The goal is to be a lead in a TV show. Is it going to be a lead in a TV show that you write yourself? You find a showrunner to um, help you with it. How are you going to get that big goal? And we want to focus on big bodacious goals that almost seem impossible, because then you can focus more on that, as opposed to, I want to book work, I want to book jobs. Well, you could be booking acting jobs that pay no money, that don't move your career forward. You are booking that is a goal, but that's not really a goal for your career. That's just, I booked a job. I worked on a friend's web series. I didn't make any money, but I did get a meal. And then when you get the web series, when you see the web series, they cut all your stuff out, so you wasted time. You want to be intentional. about your goals and where you're putting your time. So another step is, when you find that accountability partner, to set weekly times. Be consistent. I am consistent with the times that I set on Zoom with people. The my accountability partners, except for one, are all in other states. And so I meet with them on Zoom. We do it the same time every week, because that's a consistency. You know, you're going to talk to Susie at 8 o'clock on Tuesday. You know, you're going to talk to Pete on Fridays at 10 o'clock. You know, you're going to meet Mary at the coffee shop on Saturday mornings at 9:30. And that really helps. It also gives you structure. It really does make a difference. um, Another step to take is to write down your wins and your struggles. Be transparent. As an accountability partner, it's important to be transparent. Sometimes I have told my accountability partners, hey, this week I'm in overwhelm. I've been working on AI stuff, learning different AI sites, and I'm overwhelmed. And so talking to them allows me to get back, because part of it is I got distracted from what I was supposed to do and started messing with AI stuff, which I love. I love technology. I'm not the best at it, but I will jump in and work at it and go, okay, what can I learn? How can I learn this? I am a learning junkie, not just to get the information, but actually be able to use it. And so for me, that's important. So to be able to write down your weekly wins, your struggles, no hiding it, just being transparent and sharing it with your accountability partner, is a crucial step when you are, uh, you know, uh, when you are connecting with your accountability partner weekly. You want to do it weekly, not monthly, because that's too long, is too much. I had a career coach for a couple of years, and I found that I needed to meet with her every week. Once a month was not enough. We talked about investing in your career, and that was one of the things I needed to invest in, because I was putting all my time into my day job. I didn't have any time for my acting, and then I was complaining and feeling depressed because I wasn't doing anything for my acting. Yet I was not setting up my schedule and my time right, and having that career coach really started to help me get back to me. Okay, what can I do for me? Again, part of accountability is not just having another person, but it is being accountable to ourselves. How am I holding myself accountable? So, the next step is to write down your action steps, and next to it, put deadlines. Write it down, put deadlines so you can share with your accountability partner. Here are my action steps for this goal that I'm working on. I want to get it done by Friday at 12 o'clock. And the reason for the deadline is that it keeps you focused and steady and on top of stuff. And if you miss the deadline that you've imposed, then you can move it a little bit. I'm not going to make it by 5. It looks like I'm not going to make it till the following day. But at least you're moving towards stuff. Um, and the next step is to celebrate all your victories, whether they are tiny, tiny, tiny steps, like, oh, I finally sent that email out to that casting director to say thank you. Oh, yeah, you did it. You did it. By celebrating your small victories, you're building up your morale. And when you write it down, when you write down your victories, your wins, it buoys you up. So when you're feeling low, you can go back, oh, I did this. Oh, look at all the stuff I accomplished this month. The month can be as full as you commit to making it, or it could be as empty as you um, resign to, well, I'm not going to work on it this month. I'm not going to do anything this month. You are the timekeeper. You are the time manager. You are the CEO of your company. So you got to make it happen. It's on you. We want our agents, our managers, we want everybody else to be in charge of us, but we are in charge of us. We are the CEO of our company and our lives. So another step to help you is to track your progress in a planner. I highly suggest you get the Acting Smarter Planner. It is a great tool to help you keep track of your progress, write down your goals, have affirmations, and just doing all the steps in that planner will also help you be accountable to yourself. Number eight, step number eight is being honest. Don't sugarcoat your lack of action. Be honest. You know what? I slacked off this summer. I didn't do anything I was supposed to do. I didn't prep for my headshots. I didn't go looking for an agent. I did nothing. I just hung out at the beach. I just hung out with my friends. I was just binge watching. Be honest so that you know, okay, this is what I did. Let's put that aside. Now let's move forward. What can I do to get back in the swing of things? Action step number 9 is rotate leadership in accountability meetings. You want to um, be able to, if you're feeling like, oh, I'm in this group, but it's not really doing anything. Is there another group that starts helping you? Because I do understand that I've been in groups where there's times when I feel the lull. It's not encouraging me, it's not moving me forward. I go, okay, let me what's happening with this group. So I don't just adhere to one group. I have a few groups. One of the things I learned early on, if you want something from somebody, ask 4 people, ask 10 people. The more people you ask, the better your chances of success. If you're just holding one person hostage to do for you what you need, you are going to you're going to sink your boat. But if you ask a bunch of people, one of those people will say yes. Well, it's the same way in accountability meetings. The reason why I don't have just one accountability person is um, things happen, life happens. Sometimes they fall off. Sometimes, they have life things that they have to take care of. They don't have time to talk to me. So with 4 people, and I love 4 people, um, uh, it really does help you. It really does make a difference. So you want to um, keep yourself operating in the best way you can. You want to really do your stuff. Um, and what are the obstacles that keep you from success? And so accountability, when you have no accountability, it really does hurt you. It really does not help you at all. Um, so you want accountability. You want not one person, but a few people that, because it also builds relationship. You get to know each other on a more intimate level because you're holding each other accountable. So I would say to you, find a couple of people who are ahead of you that can help you. And the last step I'll give you for accountability is revisit and reset your goals monthly so you can stay aligned with what it is you want to do with your big mission, your big vision, right? Because goals are a map to get us to where we want to go. But sometimes, as a map, there are detours. Sometimes they're doing construction work, so you can't go down Fifth Avenue. You have to go down Park Avenue. You can't, even though the map is saying go down Fifth Avenue, you got to recalibrate that GPS system. You got to go and you got to do whatever it is that you need to do. So I would say to you, um, to set yourself up as best as you can for success, as best as you can for success. And remember that if you consider discipline being the bridge between goals and your accomplishments, you are going to win. So I can have goals, but I cannot have accomplishments unless I have the discipline to get stuff done. If I'm working on my goals, it's going to happen. And sometimes it doesn't happen with that deadline. You got to extend grace and go, okay, it didn't happen this, especially if you're writing a script for yourself to act in it. You may say, well, I'm gonna do this script in 30 days. Well, there are rewrites and rewrites and rewrites. You may not finish in 30 days. When I first started working on my one person show, it took me a year to just do the script. And then from that, I had to do rewrites after rewrites after rewrites after rewrites. I was working on it, I was workshopping it, but it took time. It didn't just happen. It never happened in that 30-day period, but it did happen. And I was consistent, and I brought that discipline. I kept going. I kept, finding people to help me make that script better and better. And then I started standing it up at the Comedy Store every week, thanks to Mitzi Shore. I would put it up in the belly room, and I would work through it, and I had my director, and we would tweak it. After I did the performance that night, we would go to a coffee shop, and she would give me notes, and I would go back and do rewrites and tweak it, and then 2 days later we would work on the blocking of whatever we rewrote, so I could bring it back to the Comedy Store and do it again. And because of that, doing that for a year, it allowed me to take it on tour. It allowed me to go to New York and do it. It allowed me to go to colleges and get paid well. So and that was part of discipline. It was part of accountability. It was part of just focusing and tweaking my goals. It is so important for you as an actor to have support, the right support, to have accountability. So I again invite you to join my Acting Smarter circle. Go to actingsmarternow.com and sign up for the wait list, because it will help you being in a group where people understand what it is that you need and can push you. As long as you're willing to do the work, you are going to move forward. And so with that, I would say for yourself, how to set up your accountability meetings. Let me give you a little template. So as I said before, you want to keep the meetings the same time. You want to have it between 30 minutes and 45 minutes. So that if it's 30 minutes, you get 15 minutes and your partner gets 15 minutes. And have a timer. Get your smartphone out and run a timer. Okay, here's my 15 minutes. Let me go. Here's your 15 minutes. Let me go. Don't have it more than 45 minutes. It's not to be a therapy session. It's just to say, okay, we're working on this. This is what I got. This is what I did. You can get to it quicker. And in it, so your part of your agenda should be giving your quick wins, gratitude, and also reviewing what you did the last week. Not necessarily wins, but what were you putting into action? That will really help you. Also, have think about challenges. These are my challenges. Do you have any suggestions? I couldn't get this done. And then you set your you give them your next week's goals. And I like to give an actual piece of paper with all my stuff on it, because sometimes you forget, the person forgets. But I send my accountability partners my goals, every week. They get it. They see what I did. I break it down into categories. You figure out what topics, what categories work for you, and just give it to your partner. And then end the meeting with encouragement, thanksgiving, gratitude, a mantra, something that gets you guys fired up for the next week. So, before we go, I want to give you a mantra. I want to help you um, get jazzed. So here's the mantra for today. Accountability is the engine, discipline is the fuel, and your dreams are the vehicle. When you show up, you move up. So here we go. When I show up, I grow up. When I stay accountable, I stay unstoppable. My dreams don't wait, neither do I. I'm going to say it again. When I show up, I grow up. When I stay accountable, I stay unstoppable. My dreams don't wait, neither do I. I encourage you to start your accountability partnerships. I encourage you to look for those people who are doing what you want on a bigger level, that you care enough about how they think about you to make you stay straight and narrow. So we're going to keep going. We're going to keep doing this. We are going to win. We win when we show up and when we are transparent about our stuff and when we do what we say we're going to do. So again, I welcome you to join me in the Acting Smarter Circle, which is starting in September, where we give support, strategy, structure, and we help you with lightning speed to get to your career quicker. You can go to actingsmarternow.com and sign up for the wait list, and it goes from September to December. I can't wait to see you again. I say go forth, kick butt, find those accountability partners so you can win in the game. Go ahead and be the star that you are.